I combined two amazing plants from Plants vs. Zombies 2. What would their looks and abilities be? In this video, I'll be combining Plants in PVZ2, showing you how I draw them and revealing their awesome abilities. I'll also honestly rate each one from 1 to 10. Before we begin, 94.8% of my viewers aren't subscribed yet, so please consider clicking that subscribe button. It would really help me a lot. First up is the combination of Inferno and Tiger Grass. To combine these two, I brainstormed my ideas on how it would look like. I decided to use the bottom part of Tiger Grass and outlined it. Then, I started to outline the body of Inferno, since I will be using this for the main body. When outlining it, I kinda changed the texture of the leaves in his body. I made the end leaves into a sharper one, so that I can improve the curved end of the original plant. After that, I outlined the rest of his body, including its face. Then, to include the features of Tiger Grass, I decided to outline the tiger pattern around its body. For the color, I used the tiger in Tiger Grass for my reference. I used a vibrant orange for the base of the whole plant. Then I gradient it using a darker orange for the lower part and also the upper part. I made this so the color of Inferno and my plant would match. This may also serve as the shadow of the plant. After that, I filled his eyes using a yellow base and proceed to color the tiger pattern using lighter orange. Then I reduced the opacity of it. To give the leaves some texture, I emphasize it by adding shadows around it. For the face, I added a white and gradient to it. I also draw some reflective lights inside it. After that, I adjust the orange in the body color and render it so it would blend well. I now added the highlights for the leaves to make it look brighter and give that Inferno vibes. I also added that same highlights to the other sides of the leaves. And of course, we can't forget the reflective lights in the leaves. To finish it off, I changed the outline into a different colors so it would blend well in the skin. And I also reduced the opacity of the tiger pattern outline. And there you have it, Inferno Tiger. Let's talk about the stats of this one. It costs 250 sun, with a fast recharge of 8 seconds, and for the roll, it is melee and AoE damage, with the damage of 70 and toughness of 300. The attack type of this one is claw swipes and blazing fire strikes. To further understand, let's discuss its ability. The tiger beside it slashes zombies in front very quickly, just like Tiger Grass. Every third slash summons a mini fire tornado that moves forward 3 tile range, inheriting the ability of Inferno. This fire tornado causes burn damage over time for 3 seconds. When given plant food, the tiger attacks and it go wild, gaining additional damage to zombies. The tornado also improved that can now knock back zombies. Overall, I rated a 9 out of 10. I really like how the colors really blend well with each other. But honestly, it looks like an improved version of Inferno because of its color and the body structure. But I like how it has a texture of the tiger and it wasn't just normal leaves. For its ability, I like how Inferno Tiger inherits both of the plants, which are Inferno and Tiger Grass, that it slashes zombies as the basic attack, while it can have an extra damage using a mini fire tornado. The next plant is a combination of winter mint and peppermint. You can see that both of these have their own element. I came up with this idea. I used the fire effects of peppermint for the body, then I started to outline it. I also include the fire particles of peppermint. I also outline the eyes of winter mint. Then, some of the texture for the fire. For the color, I used a light blue for the whole body. I chose this so it would match the color of winter mint. Then, I draw the highlights in the body. I started in the middle part, then added the same for the fire in the sides. After that, I draw the shadow for its body and change the outline using blue color. Then, I adjust lower outline into a darker blue to give that gradient fire look. For the eyes, I filled it using black, then added a shadow for the fires. Back to the eyes, I added the white pupils for cuter look and also draw the reflective lights under it. Here, I added the shadow to emphasize the shapes of fire and also draw reflective lights around the body and also the fire particles. And there you have it, our second plant, Frost Flame Mint. Let's talk about the plant stats of this one. It doesn't cost any sun, because power mints are single-use activations, but have a long recharge time of 85 seconds. The role of it is an ice and fire booster. It buffs ice and fire plants, but have a 20 damage. For the ability, when activated, all ice and fire plants on the lawn get a huge damage boost for 10 seconds. All ice plants can freeze zombies instantly and deal bonus frost damage, and for the fire plants, it burns zombies instantly, creating small fire patches that linger for 3 seconds. One of its special abilities, it releases blue and fire in all lanes, burning all zombies it touches for 5 seconds, and slowing them down by 50% during the burn effect. Overall, I rate it 10 out of 10. I like how clean the color is, especially the art style of it. It really matches the art style of mint plants. Frost Flame Mint also looks really cute because of the eyes and color shade. For its ability, it actually costs nothing for making both ice and fire plants stronger. And I think that when ice and fire plants are planted in the same lane, the damage becomes really strong. For the next plant, it is a combination of lily pad and shadow pea. When making this, I decided to use lily pad as the main body. I also made some changes to include the features of shadow pea. I used the head part and mouth of the shadow pea. After that, I outlined the body and also outlined the face. Then, I used light blue as the base of the whole body. I draw the shadow around it. While drawing the shadow, I didn't include some of the parts to give it some texture. Then, I draw the highlights for the bottom part of the body. Moving on, I added the reflective lights around it and added the same reflective lights for the face. For the flower shape on the body, I gradient the color using airbrush to blend with the shadow. I also added the reflective lights for the outer body, then changed the top part of the lily into a purple, since shadow pea have a purple part of its body. I changed my mind to include that flower shape of lily pad, so I changed it into a solid color, then gradient it. After that, I colored its eyes using white, then darkened the inside of the mouth, so I can add some depth in it. Then, I adjust the purple shadow and render it. Moving on, I changed the outline into a different color, so it would match the body well. I also draw some shadow for the middle part to make it look more realistic. And there you have it, shadow pea pad. For its stats, it costs 100 sun and has a recharge time of 8 seconds. Since it is still a lily pad, of course it is a water support and also a dark attacker with the damage of 45 and toughness of 200. The attack type of this one shoots shadow peas from water tiles. To further understand, let's talk about its ability. It is mentioned that it shoots shadow peas. These dark purple peas deal extra damage at night or on water tiles. It can also deal with zombies. When planted at night or dark-themed worlds, it gains plus 25% damage. Just like a normal lily pad, it can be planted directly on water and lets other plants be placed on top of it. Any shadow plant placed on top of the shadow pad will have its shadow ability instantly active. When given plant food, it fires a rapid of shadow peas for 5 seconds and duplicates it. Overall, I rate it 9 out of 10. I really like how the colors turned out. It matches with shadow pea really well. I also like how the purple part of shadow pea is inside of the lily pad. It really stands out. For its ability, it's really cool on how it also benefits the shadow plants when placed on top of shadow pea pad. And I like how it is so useful that you can place a plant on top, while also shoots zombies. This fourth plant is a combination of olive pit and solar sage. When brainstorming this idea, I will be using olive pit for the body, so it wouldn't just be a simple round plant. Then, I started to outline the head, then the face. I will be using olive pit's eyes for this fusion. Moving on, outline the rest of its body. To finish off the face, I decide to use this cute little mouth of solar sage. I started to use yellow as the base for the head and the lower part of the body. After that, I added a shadow in the face so it wouldn't look flat, and also draw that same shadow for the lower part of the body. This allows my drawing to emphasize its shape. Then, I also added the highlights for the texture to also make it look shiny. For the plant, of course I used green as the base, then draw the shadow around it. We can't also forget the highlights and also the reflective lights to make this leaves looks realistic. For the face, I filled his eyes using black, then used green for the eyebrows, and of course the white base for the mouth. I am using these colors so that I can copy the face of the solar sage. Back to the face, I added the shadow under it and also the white pupils. Then, change the outline into a different color. I almost forgot the shadow on top of its head, so I also added that. And there you have it, Solar Pit. Let's talk about its stats. Firstly, it costs 200 suns and has a recharge time of 8 seconds. The damage of this one is insta-kill, but having a 10 seconds cooldown. For its ability, it waits until a zombie gets close, then leaps forward and swallows the whole zombie, just like Olive Pit. After fully digesting the zombie, about 10 seconds, it releases 50 sun. Moreover, this can store up to 2 swallowed zombies at a time, one in the mouth and one in the body. When gives plant food, it instantly swallows up to 3 nearby zombies, digesting them instantly and releases a burst of suns, a total of 200 suns all at once. Overall, I rate it 10 out of 10. For its look, you can clearly see that nothing really changed, maybe because of the body. But I like how the colors really blends with each other, and his mouth looks really adorable. For the ability, it's actually amazing how it inherits both of the plant, that when you swallow zombies, it provides or releases suns, making the zombies more useful. For our last plant, it is a combination of chomper and primal potato mine. Can you imagine the combination of these two? One big scary plant and a small cute plant. Anyways, I constructed my ideas on these plants. I decide to use chomper as the main body of the plant, then include some of the features of primal potato mine. I first started to sketch the head. I did include the spikes of primal potato mine for the head. Then, add some eyes, and also make the teeth a bit round, since primal potato mine's teeth is also round. After that, I sketched the rest of the chomper's body. You can see here, I am making an adjustment for the eyes, on which one would look good. I carefully outline the details and adjustment I did in the sketch. Then for the color, I used primal potato mine for my reference and used light brown for the base of the whole plant. I changed the spikes into red and the inside mouth and stem into a darker brown. I changed the mouth using also darker brown and white for the teeth. For the leaves, I changed it to a green color. I changed my mind for the skin color, so I changed it into a slightly darker brown and also changed the same color for the mouth. I almost forgot the tongue for the mouth, so I also outlined it and add some color. I started to add some shadow around the head and add the same for the body, so I can give it some dimension. After that, I render it and draw the reflective lights for shapes. I used a lighter brown for the highlights of the head and also for the body. To make the spikes look 3D, I give it some shadow and add the reflective lights near the outline. We can't forget the details for the leaves, so I added the shadows and also the reflective lights. For the lower leaves, I also added the same shadow, also the reflective lights, and added highlights for a brighter look. To finish off the face, I draw the pupils in the eyes, then also the reflective lights. The spikes doesn't look sharp, so I added a white reflective lights on top. I also made it look brighter by adding highlights. Since we are copying the look of primal potato mine, we also need to include the dots around its body, so I also added that. Then back to the face, I changed the mouth color and added the shadow so it wouldn't look flat. Since I added the shadow, I also need to add the reflective lights and highlights. I draw the shadow for the eyes to add depth and also shadow for the teeth. I finalize it by changing the outline into a different color. And there you have it, our last plant, Primal Chomper Mine. I'm interested about the stats of this one. The role of this one is a melee and AoE. It has a 1800 damage with the toughness of 300, plus it also has a fast recharge time of 5 seconds. All this for only 250 sun cost. Just like Chomper, it normally eats whole zombies. After finishing digestion, it causes a powerful ground explosion, same as Primal Potato Mine. The explosion deals massive damage in a 3x3 area around the plant, but after the explosion, it doesn't disappear, unlike Primal Potato Mine. When given plant food, it instantly eats one zombie, then triggers a huge 5x5 explosion that wipes out or heavily damages all zombies in that range. Overall, I rate it 10 out of 10. I really like the looks of it, and how the Primal Potato Mine is mostly included because of its color. And I love how the spikes of Chomper were changed into the spikes of Primal Potato Mine. Although it looks really weird that Chomper has eyes. For its ability, it's really cool how he can eat a zombie nearby him and can cause a powerful explosion, damaging other nearby zombies. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, Saya.